Huggy Wuggy is a tall, slender, and comely animal, vaguely resembling a primate, covered with bright blue, thick fur. His flexible arms and legs stretch several feet in length and end in large yellow and solid hands and feet. There are large Velcro straps on the palms and feet, which Huggy uses for grabbing and hugging. He has a rather rounded torso, disproportionately small compared to his long limbs. Huggy wears a blue bow around her neck. Huggy has a large head, vaguely resembling the shape of a heart, with 2 eyes and black dilated pupils, as well as wide red cartoon sausage lips forming his smile. His evil essence is almost indistinguishable from the usual one, with the exception of a rather wide-open mouth, from which you can see a row of sharp and crooked teeth, behind which another row is hidden. Playtime Co. has created hundreds of different toys, but none of them are more connected to people than Huggy Wuggy. Our founder, Elliot Ludwig, aspired to create a toy that could hug you forever. As always true, the 4-step process of Playtime Co., the process of creating the most realistic toys, was successful. With a piece of twine and polyester, our cute blue buddy Huggy was brought to life. Huggy Wuggy has become the most popular and best-selling toy of Playtime Co. until now. Huggy Wuggy was created in 1984 by Playtime Co. In the same year, it gained huge success and popularity, which made it the factory's best-selling toy. Later, a year later, a female version of Fluffy was created, Kissy Missy. In 1990, the company sought to create a real live toy, while they had to resort to illegal experiments, of which Huggy also became a victim. The scientist mentions it as Experiment 1170 and says that Huggy is the optimal result due to his sufficient intelligence combined with maximum obedience. However, after Experiment 1006 got out of control and killed all the employees and scientists of the factory, Huggy, along with the rest of the toys, remained alone in the factory for a long time, until the main character stepped on the threshold. Like an ordinary mascot toy, Huggy Wuggy is a lover of warm hugs. He is kind and generous enough to children, while emphasizing the fact that he is taciturn and prefers to express love with hugs. In the form of a monster, Huggy is quite bloodthirsty and at the end of Chapter 1 tries to kill the player by chasing him through the ventilation. At the same time, he continues to smile terribly, most likely because of the anatomy or the consequences of the experiment. Huggy Wuggy simply cannot remove his strained smile. For the first time, the player sees him as a statue in the main hall. He just stands with his right hand raised, as if greeting the player. After a short circuit caused by a surge of electricity, Fluffy will secretly take out the key to the energy management room, which will hang on his right hand. After restoring the power supply, the player returns to the hall, but Huggy is no longer there. After opening the door leading to the warehouse, you can see the monster's hand. It will quickly crawl out the door if you get close. If you find at least one battery in the warehouse and go back to the power supply, you can see Huggy peeking out from under the door, on which a sign is painted forbidding entry there. The monster will just watch the player, but unlike the first meeting, here his grin slightly bares the monster's teeth. After a short period of time, the door will slam shut with a bang, and Huggy will disappear from sight. The final meeting will take place in the room with the Create Your Friend machine. After making the toy and scanning it, a passage will open. If you approach the dark arch, Huggy will appear, who will come out of the corridor, after which he will close, as well as the fence leading to the top of the room, creating a trap. This time, the monster has fully revealed its true form. Its mouth is wide open, baring its sharp teeth. This time, the monster is able to finish off the player if he is close enough. Although Huggy moves with a calm step, his long strides and limited space can pinch the player, not giving a chance to escape. The player needs to run into the open door of the conveyor, above which a red light will start flashing. Immediately after the descent, you will be able to see Huggy again. He will run behind the bars, looking at us with a terrible grimace. After going a little further, the doors will close from behind, and Huggy will start running at the player from the front. To escape from it, we must run, following the colorful, demotivating inscriptions that beg us to surrender. The route plan is as follows. At the beginning of the chase, turn right, running to the inclined surface with rollers. Turn left. After we get into a hole in the floor and roll down the roller track, we run into a blockage. Here, we must immediately turn right along a winding corridor. Then, after a few seconds of running in a straight line, there will be a hole on the bottom left that you need to climb into after holding down the squat button. This time, Huggy will not follow us, but will run along a different path. After we see the light that is behind one of the doors, this door will instantly slam shut, and Huggy will slowly advance from the right corridor, knowing that there's nowhere left for us to run, but the door still opens and the chase continues. But this time, the rollers of the conveyor along which we are running will spin backwards, slowing down the player. The main thing here is not to stop. After rolling down another roller coaster, the door will close and we will find ourselves on a closed platform, while Huggy will try to break down the door. If he does this, he will instantly kill the player. Here we need to grab the box from the top container and immediately let it go. It will fall on Huggy and break the floor, throwing us both to the level below. Huggy will not be able to stay on the bridge and will fall, hitting other bridges and beams, leaving his blood on them. When walking, Huggy has a rather strange and awkward gait. It is flexible enough, which emphasizes its ability to squeeze into a tight space, for example, into a ventilation shaft. At the same time, he's able to move quite quickly through the ventilation, using his long arms and legs to move forward. He also navigates the factory quite well, finding secret passages in the ventilation, which allows him to catch the player off guard. In addition, he's able to move quite quickly on all fours, pushing off the ground with his feet. He's very tall compared to ordinary people, about 5 meters.